When the right people come together at the right moment, when they care almost as much about winning as they do about each other, they can become the best of the best.
Welcome to the best soccer show, the best soccer show in the whole world.
Here we go. It's the best soccer show. Jason Davis, Jared Dubois.
What about it?
Live on a Sunday night. Doing it the right way. Doing it.
Doing it the right way, but there's been a lot of chaos behind the scenes coming up to this first show back. I mean, you've got all your systems coming back from overseas. Yeah. Nikki just moved into a new house. So, Nikki, let's get Nikki on the screen here. Just say hi to him in his new house here.
Yeah, make sure.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
Mr. Nicholas Soup and Salad. Brand new home for the Soup and Salad family. Yay! Happy home debut or whatever. I don't know.
Before the show, we were trying to figure out what that room was like. It needs a black light poster of like Pink Floyd. That's what that room is.
Yeah. Dark. It's definitely a dark backdrop for Mr. Soup and Salad.
Work in progress.
I doubt
this
it'll
is a
stay that
temporary
way.
situation.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to be in this room. I will be eventually in the basement. This is
temporary. Temporary studio stuff. I mean,
is the lampshade in the corner of the shot staying?
I meant to move it, but got sidetracked with the issues we were having before the show. Jared.
It's all small things. Small things. It's all good. Nick, I'm glad to be back here in my home studio. We're glad to have Nicky Soup and Salad back doing his thing. That means the phone lines are open, Jared.
Ooh.
What could be better than that? 717-727-2378. So we get to take phone calls. We didn't get to do it when the United States won the Gold Cup. We didn't get to do that.
Brutal.
And I feel terrible about it. Obviously, I was in Puerto Rico and my connection was a little dodgy, and but we did get a show together. We did put something out. I hope people liked my echoey nonsense.
So if you've been waiting for a week to talk about the Gold Cup final, give us a call. We'll take that call. We'll take that call.
I realize that all of us have entirely tiny little attention spans, that we can't pay attention to anything for longer than 5 minutes, that the Gold Cup, the win over Mexico in the Gold Cup feels, how long, Jared? How long ago does it feel to you?
I had like 2 weeks, but it's only one.
It's only one. It feels like a month to me because I had a week off from the radio, from everything. Do you know I have a radio show? I'm not sure if you were.
You went through the Bermuda Triangle, which may have affected your how you perceive space and time.
That's that way. Did I actually fly?
I don't know where it's at. You know me. I don't know geography well.
That's not what I wanted to do, by the way. I wanted to play the sound effect that Nicholas Soup and Salad really wants me to play every time that we talk about my radio show, but I can't find it. So we're going to
we need to start having an X-Files sound just for every time I bring up the occult.
You are on the verge of something. Weren't you like sharing like hours and hours of Coast to Coast or something?
Oh, I found a great link that has like it's a blog. Believe it or not, there's still blogs around. There's a blog that catalogs and archives every Coast to Coast AM without having to behind a paywall pay or anything like that. So like, listen, if you want to listen to some aliens and or you want to listen about I think it was back in the day, it was electromagnetic. I can't remember what it was. People used to record on cassette. You could hear ghosts in the background.
Oh,
do you remember that thing?
Whatever. Yeah, there was a movie they made. Hold on.
WNBC. WNBC.
There was a movie they made out of. I think Michael Keaton was in it. Wasn't it like a? Wasn't there like a? Oh
yeah, White Noise.
White Noise or something like that. You can hear ghosts in the static.
Yes. Yes.
All right, look, we'll get to UFO stuff maybe because you are my UFO Connect. I don't have any knowledge of what's happening. Did they drop new information? Has the Pentagon declassified?
It depends what you believe.
Don't answer that question now. We're going to save it because there's soccer stuff. Okay. I want to get to the soccer stuff. I want to talk about the U.S. men's national team, B side won the Gold Cup, right? That's a big deal. Sure. Tata Martino somehow still has a job. I guess they want to give him a shot in qualifying. Good for them.
To do, to be honest with you, he's a good coach. He's a good coach.
I know he's a good coach. Yeah,
I mean, he lost Chucky Lozano. The talent was still there. No Vela. Who knows if they're gonna be able to bring him in or not. I don't know. I think let's see what the guy can do. The one thing Mexico hasn't tried is letting a coach have a couple of years to actually do something.
The one thing Mexico hasn't tried, stability. That's the one thing. Mexico is your dirtbag cousin who can't keep a job, who has talent. Everybody knows he's incredibly talented.
Serial monogamist. Serial monogamist.
Yes,
one person for short periods of time.
Absolutely. Like moves in with somebody, lives there for a while, gets really intense, talks about marriage, and then the next day they're like, "Oh no, we broke up."
What does that make us? We're the classic settlers.
We're I guess we're settlers. We're also like, it's a lot of work to date.
It's a lot of work to date.
Very hard to outkick our coverage. You know what I'm saying? Very hard to outbox our.
We're the
weight
person
class.
that hooks up with someone that's just near their social circle. Like we don't go far for who we date. It's usually somewhere in our realm.
That's right. There's no like. No, we're not
driving out of town's a lot of work.
Even the one time we kind of went outside the box, it was somebody who moved to our town.
Dude was in California.
He showed up in California, surfer hair, he's from somehow he's from Germany, but he's like the coolest kid in school.
Takes helicopters.
Yeah, when you're flying in a helicopter, everybody wants to date you. Everybody wants to hang out. So
who doesn't want a chopper ride, man?
So Mexico continues with Tata Martino. Fine for them. Whatever. We're aiming towards September and World Cup qualifying. By the way, that is less than a month away. Do I have that right?
September, right? Isn't the first games in September?
September 2nd, Jared. It's like 3 weeks away. What are we ready?
A brutal schedule, man.
Are you? I don't think I'm emotionally prepared. I really don't think I am. Like
if we're not emotionally prepared after 2 cup wins. Like, when are we going to be prepared?
No, the team, those players, I think they may be somewhat I don't think they know what they're walking into because so many of them haven't been through World Cup qualifying in CONCACAF. But I'm talking about me as a viewer, as a fan, as a guy who talks about this team on the radio every single day of my life, pretty much. I don't think I'm emotionally ready because the swings, look, it's a long process. It is 8 teams instead of 6. There's 3 games in the first window, 3 games in the second window, 3 games in January, 3 games in March, all of that, right? Despite all that, I don't think because of 2018, I am not ready. I'm just not.
So you're telling me that approximately 4 years has not been enough time for you to heal from the pain of 2017. That's how hard that breakup was for you.
I think that's part of it. I also think that.
But listen, there's such a bright path in front of us. Like, how can we not be ready for love again when everything is telling us now's our time?
That we have plenty of reason to be optimistic, but are we willing to be vulnerable and let ourselves get hurt?
This is happening.
I know.
Dude.
Let's go to the phone lines and talk to Andy in Rochester. Andy, you're on the Best Soccer Show. What's up?
How's it going? Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. And to Nicholas Soup and Salad.
Speaking of being, go ahead.
No, shoot. Go ahead, Andy.
Speaking of being ready for love, my question is about Berhalter. And my preface to this question is I do lay a little bit of blame for how he got hurt in 2018 at Bruce Arena's feet. My question is simple. Right now, after winning these 2 tournaments and seeming to turn the program around, where is Berhalter in your hierarchy of U.S. coaches all time?
Woo!
Ooh, I mean, that's a tough trigger to pull because the biggest test is still in front of him. When you think about Bruce Arena, when you think about Jurgen Klinsmann, you think about Bob Bradley. If you want to go back to Bora,
there's only one coach that Berhalter can definitely be ahead of right now. Only one in the modern history of this team. Only one.
Klinsmann.
No, I don't think he's ahead of Klinsmann yet. Klinsmann got out of the group at the World Cup with Portugal and Germany and Ghana. The only coach he can be ahead of is Steve Sampson. That's literally the only coach he can be ahead of at this point.
About Steve Sampson. But Steve Sampson made the World Cup.
No, he did, and I recognize that. But he's still, he's
You're
still
right. He hasn't played a 3-6-1 yet, so we got that going for us.
The problem is, I don't know if I put it past Berhalter.
The correct way to do this, is how would you feel about Jurgen Klinsmann, Bruce Arena, and Bob Bradley before the World Cup campaign started? That's a hard.
If we could get in the Best Soccer Time Machine, the Best Soccer Show's time machine, and go back to when World Cup qualifying started for 2010. With Bob, because remember Bruce took us to the quarterfinals in 2002. 2006 was painful. We didn't get out of the group, but we fought hard against Italy. It really was a tough draw in that group. Ghana also in that group. So I don't know. You can hate on that.
If I was forced to make a hierarchy right now of the last 4 coaches, Bruce Arena's at the top for me. I would still probably put Bob Bradley in second.
Okay.
What?
No. Well, Bruce Arena's at the top. That's true. But he also, as Andy pointed out, rightfully, he came back and he hurt us. Like
the dude had 4 months to turn a team around that was already not qualifying. Like they weren't in a great position when he took over. That's why he had to take over. I don't listen. You can broke Bruce, but it doesn't hurt his legacy. Like to the point where he's not the top coach. He's a top coach in both the and MLS hierarchy. The dude is the GOAT.
That's fair. That's true. That's true. You could make an argument about Bora only because he didn't have to qualify for that World Cup in '94. But it was
I'm gonna leave Bora out of it. I think it's good. There's too many things to play right there. I would go Bruce Arena. I would go Bob Bradley, barely edging out Greg Berhalter right now. Berhalter, then Klinsmann. Berhalter, everything that's been put in front of Berhalter, outside of a couple friendly losses, he's done exactly what he was supposed to do so far.
Fastest coach to 25 wins in U.S. men's national team history. Obviously, already got 2 trophies in the case. Good for him. I mean, look, I think, Andy, it's premature to answer the question seriously, but I get what you're going for. Got anything else?
Yeah, you didn't do yours.
Did I? No, I did. I said the only one I could put him.
Well,
the only one I could put him ahead of is Sampson. Literally in the modern history of this team.
So you got Klinsmann ahead of Berhalter.
Yeah,
right
because Klinsmann, even though he led to us not qualifying in 2018. We got qualified for 2014, and he got out of that group. And I think that was. I mean, I didn't like his tactics. I largely didn't like his player selection, but the guy, he did something of note that Berhalter hasn't done yet.
Okay,
Andy,
that's
go.
Fair.
For me, the intangibles and tangibles of what Berhalter has done, turning around a U.S. program that was dead in my eyes, plus winning these obviously World Cup he hasn't been tested yet, but I'm also kind of one of these fans that's like the other 3.5 years of football. I love watching that too, and I think watching Berhalter do that has been immense. For me, he's second. I would put Bruce Arena up there, even though I'm still mad at him. But overall, they'll be on 1-2. Klinsmann, just because of what he did, I think to ruin our chances. And what he did to Landon falls down even below Bob Bradley for me. But thanks for taking the question, guys.
I got one we can let Andy go, but I got one issue with part of his take right there, and that's he's giving the credit to Berhalter for the turnaround. Berhalter didn't create and develop this golden age of players that we're having right now.
That's fair.
He gets the credit for it. It's similar to when Donald Trump wanted to take credit for the economy when he came in. He gets to take credit for that first year, but everyone knows it was already on an upswing before he got there. But that's the luxury of being the guy that's in that position at that time. So Berhalter's going to get some of the credit for this, but it really goes down to all the people in development in the U.S. soccer pyramid.
I've said this before. And this is before the Nations League victory and before the Gold Cup victory, I'm pretty sure. I said that the pressure for Greg Berhalter is maybe the highest it's ever been for a national team coach because he has all that talent to work with, right? Because when you look down the roster, you see Chelsea and you see Juventus and you see Barcelona and you see all these clubs, and he's supposed to put them together and then they're supposed to qualify for damn sure, and they're supposed to do something when they get there.
Based off of that, I got to pick your poison for you if on that type of topic you're putting out right there.
Okay,
board didn't work. Huh? Poison. Poison. There.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Go ahead.
All right. So, in terms of higher expectations, who had higher expectations around them?
It might happen a couple more times depending how slow my system is, but there you go.
Let's see. Who had more expectations surrounding them? Berhalter right now with the team that he has in front of him, or Bruce Arena going to 2006 when the U.S. was ranked, 6th in the world?
Yeah, something stupid like that. Look, I seem to have I'm having a little deja vu. I think this may have come up at some point. It's a fine question, though.
If I remember correctly.
I think we all knew that those rankings in 06 were BS,
but doesn't mean that he didn't have pressure, though, because the average believes what those in those faint rankings, especially in 2006. Now they may have the distance from it to know it's all BS.
But look at this. I'm going to break in because this is more important if this is happening now. Wesley says, in the new FIFA rankings, there are rumors we could be in the top 10.
We're already 9. That? It already came out. We're 9.
Oh, did it? I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah, we're 9 right now.
When's the last time the United States will post 2006 dumb ranking? When's the last time?
I don't think there has been a time since then. I
Yeah,
don't
I don't think
it's
it's
been in the top 10.
so we've jumped over Mexico because we beat Mexico twice.
Yep. And had an
Yeah.
undefeated in both tournaments.
Wow. Okay. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about now. What do I do with my hands? Like, I'm serious. Like, am I supposed to be thrilled? But the one thing is that it could lead to obviously a better draw, right? The whole point is to get into one of the top couple of pots in the World Cup draw, and then everything else. Okay. So anyway,
that's the only thing it means. That's the only thing it means.
You said they've come out. Joseph said that's wrong. They've come out on the 12th, and everything else is speculation. So we'll see. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe somebody's done the math already, because it's not like that's a secret. You can still, you can crunch those numbers yourself. I think Berhalter. I think the pressure on Berhalter is the highest it's ever been on a national team coach, and I include 06 with Bruce Arena. And one reason is the talent level that Berhalter has at his disposal. He's got a Champions League winner. He's got a kid at Dortmund. He's got a Juventus midfielder. He's got all these weapons and all these top level players. Plus, it's just a different time in American soccer, Jared. I mean, I know that we're still not where we want to be culturally, and we don't have 100,000 people watching this show every Sunday night like we really should, but the game is bigger now than it was back then, and I think that means something. I think it does. And
I think what it does is it gives the USA some swagger. It gives them some swagger. It gives players and agents for players. It gives them something as a bargaining tool. Like it gives the American player going overseas, and we're going to talk about some of them that are looking to make moves overseas. It helps elevate the profile of American soccer. It does.
Yeah. Last thing, real quick, before we move on to the transfers, which you should do. Christian Pulisic went on the Crack podcast talking to Bees and Gooch. And and Mookie, and he talked about the trophy was great, but for him it was beating Mexico. And man, it just I get the little pitter patters hearing an American soccer player, hearing a most important player on the team, maybe, and certainly one of the most talented players on the team, a guy that's definitely a leader in people's minds, whether he is actively the leader in that team or not. To hear him say that's what we've, this is, and not everybody loves the man. Alexi Lawless crying after the Gold Cup victory. And I believe those are real tears. I believe the man really cares about that. Even if you don't like anything Alexi says, he wants this team to succeed.
You and I have had the luxury of speaking to Alexi. You and I have the luxury of talking to Alexi outside of the context of a show or anything like that. The dude cares. The dude cares.
For sure.
You can not like the way he carries himself as a pundit and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, let Jason and I tell you that the dude cares. I don't think it was fake either. But some people are going to talk it up to that. But at the end of the day, he love that he cares, and I think this is what he's talking about when he having those feels. I think the American soccer player of old, that is the mentality they had to have when they're coming on the field. I want to beat Mexico. I don't care what else happens. I want to beat Mexico. As dirty as it has to be, I want to be. And I hate the way that there was no fouls in that game.
I know.
I wanted to be dirtier.
Okay, well, there were some dirty things that happened that just didn't get called. It's whatever. Let's move on to, and as you said, it kind of sets the tone here. If the U.S. breaks into the top 10 of world rankings, regardless of that, couple of trophies this summer or this year already, looking ahead to World Cup qualifying, with the transfer window happening in Europe right now, we're watching the American player rise. This is if you had to compare it to, do you have a good comparison here? It's like when everybody started signing pop punk bands in the 90s.
I was close. I was going to say boy bands out of Florida in the 90s.
It's similar. There's the same era too. But I feel like, Blink started this thing, and then everybody was signing these pop punk bands, and we had a wave of them, and all of them were selling millions of records.
Welcome, Sum 41.
Fat Lip is a good song.
Good song, actually. I like it.
So the American player is getting a rep, and we're seeing it. And by the way, this is also on MLS for choosing to sell, right? They're actively working to sell players in a way they didn't do before.
Is it going too far? Is there too much selling going on? Is it going to water down the league when even guys like Sam Vines are leaving? I don't think but how do you tell a guy who just played for the national team, regardless of the B team or not, and won a trophy and all that, how do you tell that guy, oh, no, you can't go. You can't go to Belgium for whatever the number is. Ask him how they talked to Aaron Long for the last 3 years. Someone knows how to do it.
And it's also Major League Soccer is now doing a thing where the clubs have more autonomy than they ever had before, even though Obviously, it's still like single entity and all that stuff. We know that.
I think
Clubs
after
can
the
stay.
pandemic, we spent most of last year talking about how the owners lost a lot of money. The owners talked about the fact they lost a lot of money through their collective bargaining discussions. I think part of this sell-off is like it's totally okay from the owner's standpoint to get some cash, make up for that last year, sell some players, and it just happens to fit into that bigger mindset we need to be in anyway.
Look, if you believe your stuff is that good, like if you're like, I'm Holden and I got the good stuff, right? And I know that I've got like whatever I've got in inventory, I can replace what I've sold with new stuff.
Yeah.
Then sell. Like, don't do this thing where like, well, I don't know. Will we be able to replace the right back or the left back for the Colorado Rapids? Well, no, act like you've got another kid coming through. That's true. That's for the Rapids. That's for every team in the league who's got a player that might get some attention. Everybody.
So, and FC Dallas being the extreme of that scenario.
Obviously, FC Dallas is like, whatever. It's going out of business sale. I mean, although, and look, Major League Soccer, a lot of these clubs will benefit from the fact, Jared, that there is no relegation, and the line for the playoffs is at number 7. So, for example, FC Dallas, since you just brought them up, right? FC Dallas was terrible. They were in last place in the league, right? They were.
I'm not sure if they still are, but they were at one point.
They were, and where are? I mean, they're climbing. I'm not saying that they're a playoff.
I mean, that's how good Ricardo Pepi and Jesus Ferreira are up top. But do you expect? Do you expect either of those guys to be there 6 months from now?
But that's actually my point, though, right? Is that FC Dallas has leaned heavily into, well, we're a development team. We're not a just go out and win a trophy kind of team. And if their fans buy into it, and I'm leaving that for them, I'm not going to get involved in that discussion. If their fans buy into it and they can keep the business going, hey, as a national team fan, hell yes, get them all cowboy hats and then send them off into the world. And maybe Ricardo Pepi needs to be lined up to go sooner rather than later. I mean,
I agree though. It comes down to the fans. If the fans buy into that as being something to put their hat on and to say that's who we are as a team, then go for it. But if it's not, you got to figure out something away, because once the fans aren't there, it's going to be tough to sell yourself as a real MLS club.
All right, let's go back to the phones. We got James in Tucson and wants to talk about one of these transfers. A deal done. Josh Sargent leaving the Bundesliga to go play at Norwich City, who just got promoted from the Championship into the Premier League. James, you're on the air. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, dude?
So, yeah, I was just interested in what you guys thought about this move. I was watching the Talk Norwich City YouTube channel, and channel I followed for some time and never really expected it to cross over with American soccer, but here they are. They're talking about Sargent. The Norwich City fans seem excited. I think he's actually going to be possibly their record-breaking signing, which says a lot about Norwich and sort of their budget, but I think it's going to be like an $11 million deal. But specifically, I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about Jurgen Klinsmann sharing his opinion. I don't know if you guys saw this. He was speaking on
James,
USMNT this week.
Let me break in. I don't have the audio, but I'm going to read these comments. So I just grabbed them so that Jared can hear what Klinsmann said. Okay.
Yeah.
So he said, I've followed Josh's career for many, many years, as he's one of the biggest talents in the U.S. soccer. He has done so well at such a very young age. I think he's already in a good place. Even if it's a season in the second Bundesliga, you play for Werder Bremen, which is one of the most traditional teams in Germany. And even in the second division, they will play in front of 30,000 or 40,000 fans. If it's only for 1 year, I don't think it's a big difference to the Bundesliga. In his stage of a development, and this is only my personal opinion, I think he's fine where he is. If he wants to make the jump to the Premier League right now, then give it a shot, but I don't think it's necessary. That's what he said.
It's a bit of a nothing burger, but go ahead with your thoughts. James.
Go.
I could see where he's coming from just in this respect. I think that on one level, you're happy for Sarge, playing in the Premier League. I mean, from a fan's perspective, speaking as somebody that watches more of the Premier League than the Bundesliga, I know that's not every American soccer fan, and there's plenty of Bundesliga fans, but I think there's an excitement when an American player moves to the Premier League, naturally for a lot of people. But I do understand the perspective of when you move to a club like Norwich City, which is going to be battling for promotion, a lot of times there's limited opportunity. If you don't hit the ground running immediately, these clubs are really quick to sort of go the other direction, look for another player, and it can potentially, I mean, we've seen it happen with Josie when he was at Hull, and so I can understand where he's coming from in terms of there's going to be a lot of expectation. There's going to be, like I was saying, like these Norwich fans, they are excited and they are expecting him to be the thing that puts them over the edge to survive. And I think that's going to be a lot of immediate pressure, and he's going to be expected to score goals. So I can understand the Klinsmann perspective of go down to 2 Bundesliga, stay with Bremen.
What?
Yes, it's a lower level, but you're still only 21, and you're going to be able to sort of maybe not have that pressure, and you're still going to have the atmosphere and the intensity and the pressure of competing in it.
Yeah, this is what always happens with these kind of moves, Jared. And we usually talk about them sort of like conceptually, like and if this might happen, and then what think is better? And here we go. This is set up very nicely. Do you want Josh Sargent to be in the second Bundesliga and maybe score 15 goals in that league because it's a weaker league and he gets his scoring boots on and he figures out how to put the ball in the net, which we definitely need for the national team? Or do you want him in the Premier League where he's definitely not going to get 15 goals, but he might get a sharper edge because he's playing against some of the best defenders in the world?
For me, I want him at Norwich, and here's the simple reason why. This is one thing that Klinsmann didn't allude to, was 2 things to it. One, what's been the biggest thing we've said about Josh Sargent, why we can't make an opinion of him over the last 2 years? Werder Bremen sucks, right? Literally, that's what we've said for the last 2 years as the reason why we don't truly know if Josh Sargent's good enough to start for the national team. But let me get my second point real quick on this as well. There's that, and then here's the other thing that Klinsmann didn't talk about. He's got 2 strikers breathing down his neck now. He has to raise his level to a level so that he can play at a higher level than the second Bundesliga. Because while I find it's fine for his development, I think that's the point Klinsmann's speaking to, his development would be fine in the second Bundesliga. He needs to show that highest level when you have World Cup qualifying games coming up, and that Premier League.
Okay, so the issue, though, I have an issue with point 1 only in that you trade Werder Bremen, who was a bad team in the Bundesliga, and got relegated to the second Bundesliga, where they're going to be one of the better teams in that league.
You assume?
And
I assume pretty bad in the Bundesliga,
but they're not going to go from last in the Bundesliga to bottom half of the second Bundesliga. It's not going to happen. That doesn't mean they're going to play good football. It doesn't mean he's going to get a lot of service if he stays there. I can't tell you. He scored in preseason, right? He scored a goal. Was that even preseason? Or he started the season
he
already?
did. But he's also playing as a wide winger, not center striker.
True. Don't know what that's all about. Going to Norwich means you're, as James has already alluded to, you're getting in a dogfight to avoid relegation. So you're not playing beautiful soccer at Norwich. You're not playing and he's not going to get tons of service at Norwich, right?
So you'd rather have him get fluff goals in the second Bundesliga than challenge himself at the Premier League level. I would rather have a player that chooses to challenge himself.
I get that. I do think the scale tips in that this is the move, because if it comes, this opportunity, and somebody wants you, and that's the Premier League, and yes, as you said, he's trying to fight for a national team spot, I think he has to take the chance. I don't think you can say no to this. But I also believe that playing time trumps all. So playing time is an issue, because if he's not going to get a lot of it, that will suck, right? That will definitely suck.
It will. I mean, I don't think he needs a lot. I think he needs a decent amount, because listen, he is going to play behind Pukki if he's going to play in the center, and we don't know. Maybe they're not bringing him in to play in the center because he featured well for Bremen in the preseason, playing wider position.
What is he in that spot? Like, what does he do in that spot? I don't see his game working there. We've said for a long time
we don't know that he even fits in as a center striker. I don't know what his best position is, to be honest with you.
James, go ahead, James.
If I could just, because I've watched Norwich for the last few seasons, and I think that the plus is going to be that they do play a really attractive brand of soccer. But the negative, and we all know this with Sargent, he's at times struggled to convert chances, is in the Premier League, some of these games, most of these games, he's probably going to get one chance a game. And if he's not able to be clinical, like I said early on, if he's not able to hit the ground running and he's not able to take that one chance he gets a game, 5-6 games into the season, if he's still scoreless, and all of a sudden these Norwich fans that had high expectations, that's going to be tough. I mean, I don't want to be negative, so I'm happy for him, and I hope that it works out. I hope that he hits the ground running, but I've seen this happen, and I'm sure you guys have as well, multiple times. You make the move to a Premier League team, and they're battling relegation, and it's really hard if you don't hit the ground running immediately. But I think that I'm inclined. My head is inclined to agree with Jason, and my heart is inclined to agree with Jared, because I just think that it's an ambitious move, and I think that's the right mindset for him to have as a player.
That's what we are, Jerry. We're like Herman's head, right? We're just different parts of the
I
personality.
appeal
like,
to the heart, you appeal to the brain.
something like that. Yeah. I think
Pacey
that's
and
probably what it is. Okay, yeah, that too. I appreciate the
she
call,
knows she should
James.
be with Dawson, but her heart wants to be with Pacey.
That Pacey's the bad boy. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Is he the bad boy? Okay.
You look
I
at
don't
Joshua
know.
Jackson, you don't see Bad Boy?
I mean, yeah, that show didn't
The dude
age
screwed
well
his teacher,
me.
for God's sakes.
No, I know that was like episode 1. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, whoa, okay, whoa.
That's when I knew
whoa.
I was into that show.
Yeah, that's a thing. All right, Josh Sargent moving to Norwich. And look, I selfishly, and it's not that I don't have an interest in the Bundesliga or I don't make time. I do. I made a lot of time for the Bundesliga last year, and I probably will again because there's still American players there. Certainly, Giovanni Reina is going to be get a lot of attention this season. But the Premier League is the Premier League. It's the biggest league in the world. It's the most high-profile league. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, right? Isn't that kind of how it works?
That's what we hear. But listen, there's some other guys making moves trying to make it in the new teams as well. Like for example, we talked about already Sam Vines going to Royal Antwerp. Maybe not the sexiest move, but is Sam Vines the sexiest guy? I don't know.
Oh man, that was not. You didn't have to.
No, as a player. Like, is that the big move overseas that you were looking for out of MLS? It's Sam Vines.
I think that's the right kind of move for Sam Vines right now. And I think that's a better move to compare to somebody else, a better move than Reggie Cannon, who went to Boa Vista in Portugal. I know that's not you, but we didn't know anything about Boa Vista either. But as Jason earlier mentioned in the show, can we talk about Boa Vista supposedly not paying the transfer fee for Reggie Cannon yet?
Yeah, that's
FC
rough.
Dallas is owed some money. Boa Vista ain't got none. And Reggie Cannon's situation is all kinds of messed up.
Who's the Texan you send to go collect on that? Like, who's the guy you're sending? Like, is it Texas? Was it Walker, Texas Ranger? Is he badass enough?
Well,
like,
he's not actually. Hold on, he's not actually a Texan, so maybe this doesn't count. But he has played for. Not talking about Walker, Texas Ranger. That's who is that? Who plays that guy?
Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris. Sorry, my synapses. Okay, he's not the guy I'm thinking of. Isn't actually a Texan, but he has played for a team called the Texans, and he is married to a soccer player. You send JJ Watt, right? Don't you send JJ Watt to go get that money?
JJ Watt is very intimidating. Yes, I could definitely see that.
No.
Problem.
Joseph has the answer. Joseph has the answer. That's the answer. What do we think of that?
I mean, for the podcast listeners, Joseph put up Clinton Dempsey. Like,
okay, so there's Sam Vines. There's John Luca Busio, which is a done deal. So I'm holding up the jersey, and that's my rule. That's the Jason Davis transfer believability axiom. Don't believe it's done until we're holding up the jersey. It's a damn fine looking jersey too, and
it is a very good looking jersey.
Can I just say, if there are anybody out there who is attached to Venezia FC and maybe wants to send your boys some stuff, we're here. We're here for you.
If it says Busio on the back, even if it says Testament on the back, I'll still rock it.
Oh, absolutely. Here's the thing about the Busio move, right?
Yes.
He is not cheap for them. Like, that's significant cash, right? Like
$6 million, I believe, plus upwards maybe 11 with the incentives.
Yeah, and apparently the incentives are not all that difficult for him to get to, and
which means I'm probably thinking it's appearance based.
I'm guessing it's appearance based. 11 mil is John Luca Busio an $11 million player? I mean, again, there isn't
not right
guarantee.
Now, but I could maybe if he has a good first season in Serie A, I could see him being that way. I mean, what did Juventus end up paying for Weston McKennie in the end? Was it
20 something, 23?
Let's say Busio gets 15 games this season. I can see him worth 11 if he looks good in those 15 games.
All right. I mean, they're also a team that's going to be fighting relegation because they just came up. They're telling a tiny little joint. Have you seen their stadium?
I haven't.
It's a tiny little thing. It's just so cute. It's just a little, it's a little Rector set stadium. I mean, that's not a giant club, right? So that's my worries. And I don't want to be negative because it's a good move for him. It's a good move for Tessman to get an opportunity. You get an education in Serie A. Even if Serie A is a little bit more open than it used to be.
It's a team that wants Americans. That's a good thing about it too. You got to feel that they're going to get an actual legit chance to play there because the ownership has said they want to invest in American players. So I'm down for both of them being there. I'm excited to see what that brings for them for the season. And in terms of Busio, I think 6 is right as a starting point. I think it's an okay starting point for him. It's high, but I think that's a good bit of business by Kansas City.
Well, absolutely. I mean,
listen, that the Gold Cup couldn't have come at a better time for that negotiation.
I suppose. I mean, it's not like he was star of the show at the Gold Cup. He had a couple of good games. A couple of good
if
games.
you could show a whole crowd of people chanting his name, that's something that is a bit appealing as here's a crowd favorite. And
well, I don't think, again, with the American connection that Venezia already has, they were very aware of Gianluca Busio. But you're right. Maybe that upped his marketing capacity just a little bit or something. I don't know. And the one thing I'll say about Gianluca Busio going to Italy, and again, he'll get a tactical education that he hasn't gotten in Major League Soccer. And that's no offense to Peter Vermees. It's just not the way the league plays. But the knock on Busio, and you saw it in the Gold Cup, is what, Jared? What is Busio's major problem playing where he plays on the field?
I thought he was his possession and passing, honestly, in the Gold Cup. That was me personally.
Most people would lean towards his lack of physicality. Like he's a smaller guy.
I think he gets stuck in pretty well for a small guy, though.
Well, he doesn't have the engine. He needs to turn the engine on more often. Like, I understand that you need to conserve and you have to pick your moments. And I don't think everybody needs to be what Kellen Acosta was in the Gold Cup against Mexico. But that performance, and I've watched the highlights of that, it was nuts. Just how much ground Kellen Acosta covered. And it wasn't just it wasn't about covering ground. It was about understanding angles. It was about understanding when to step up to try to snuff something out and when to draw back. And there were even moments in the Gold Cup where Kellen Acosta made the wrong choice, and that cost his team. Remember the one chance that Jamaica had in that quarterfinal?
All I remember is that Kellen Acosta gave up the penalty. That's the one thing I remember most.
There was that was against Martinique. But
that's the one goal scored against the U.S. in the whole tournament.
Yes, that's true. In the game against Jamaica, they came up their left side, the American right, and they made some ground, and they played a little sort of it wasn't back heel, but like a little cut inside pass, and they had a great chance. And the player who ended up on the ball just didn't put enough power in the shot to beat Matt Turner. And it's because Kellen Acosta, as a defensive midfielder, didn't step to get to the ball first. He made a choice that left him in no man's land and allowed Jamaica to open the United States up. So here we are. Again, we have a guy that can maybe learn on the job in Italy. Now, this is interesting, Jared. What do you think about this?
I don't like it.
King the King arrives. It's a terrible. I'm wonderful name. I said wonderful. We'll never have a great team if our players only go to teams that welcome Americans. Pretty much no big club except for Dortmund values us. We have to tell players to say screw it, fight past that.
I'm fine with that mentality, but what's wrong with Busio and Tessman going to a team that does value Americans and potentially give them playing time?
Yeah, look, this is the same thing with Jesse Marsch, right? Jesse Marsch is now the manager of a Champions League level club in the Bundesliga. They finished second last year. He hasn't earned anything yet. He's still got to prove it on the job. But you take the chance. He took the opportunity to go to Leipzig to learn under Ralph Rangnick and be an assistant after being a head coach in Major League Soccer, because that was his one opportunity to get the door open to Europe. Yeah. We're not at that point yet where Americans can just have their pick of whatever, right? And especially young players like Busio, and especially MLS players. This is the first step in that direction. For MLS to look at a Busio or a Tessman or a whoever else is next, Sam Vines, obviously. And say,
I feel like that take was accurate 10 years ago. I think the take now is a little bit dated because Fulham values Americans. Everton does. Dortmund does. Like these teams, these guys now are standing on the shoulders of the guys that broke through. And I don't think that mentality is necessarily there anymore. I think there's plenty of teams. Because here's the thing. At the end, what do teams value? Results. If you're a good enough player to get them results, they're going to value you. For a young player going over there that is looking for minutes, it's probably built into his contract as a payment back to his club. I'm saying that he's probably going to get minutes. He's probably going to trigger some of those things because it's an American-friendly landing spot.
This is also a case where 10 years ago, if an American landed at a Belgian club, say Sasha Kljestan. Let's just talk about Sasha Kljestan for a second, okay?
Sure.
He comes through, breaks through in Major League Soccer, becomes this nice sort of, we thought of him as an attacking player, creative player back then. He gets moved over to Belgium. He ends up becoming more of a two-way player, kind of a number 8 in Belgium. He has a decent career, comes back to Major League Soccer. That sort of was how it went. Like, Clint Dempsey nearly went to Liverpool, got a move to Spurs. He was the one guy. Clint Dempsey was the one guy who took a step to Europe and then tried to level up, right?
I think Reina was the first one. Going to making the Sunderland to Man City move. I mean,
okay, that's a different Man City, but yes, okay,
for sure.
those were very few and far between. Generally speaking, if an American made a move to Europe, they were sort of sticking at that. Even if they changed clubs, think about Jeff Cameron, right? Did Jeff Cameron ever level up after he went to England? No, he just kind of stayed in that same zone and then down to the championship, and now he's in MLS.
Going to levels further to the right.
That's not. Is that appropriate? Is that?
Ooh, my
wife's
what we're doing
today?
I can smell it.
Kept moving over and over and over. What I'm saying is these players, they think that this is step one, not step done, right? This is not the top of their climb. This is just the beginning. So when they go to Venezia, they go to Royal Antwerp, they go to even Boa Vista for Reggie Cannon, obviously. This was all supposed to be a step in that direction. So anyway, just something to think about.
Yeah, Matthew Hoppe at Schalke.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Where are we on Matthew Hoppe right now?
I think it's obvious that he wants to leave, and he sounds like he has planning to leave, but we're not hearing where. I'm not hearing anything about where he might be going.
Did you know the man missed the bus, the party bus on the way back to the hotel from the stadium?
What was he going to do? He's 20.
There were some kids on that bus doing. I
saw a couple of dudes drinking beer that I know don't have at least they have
Jared, they were in the club. They were on the stage. In the club, okay? It's Vegas. What they're not going to be on the stage in the club?
I love it.
There was at least a thought, and I know Berhalter was on the bus, and they were singing rap songs you would have no clue about. So let's just say that. I know Berhalter was on. Yeah. Okay,
probably. I took offense, but I know it's true.
Oh, it's definitely true. They were on the bus. You don't know what sicko mode is, right? You know sicko mode?
Is that Travis Scott?
Oh, yeah, you did pull that up. So they were rapping Travis Scott. But it was Drake's verse on... that's only reason you know because it was in Fortnite. So they were rapping Drake's verse in sicko mode. When I was watching Busio's live Instagram, pretty sure Berhalter was rapping along with them, which is just like...
Dude, with sneaks like that, you better have some verses to go with it.
The man made Complex, too, which is also a very interesting development.
Dude, that is one that we never thought we'd be in.
Like, if you put two words...
I wouldn't put Complex and Greg Berhalter together. That's just what I'm saying. There's other dudes I put in there, but not Greg Berhalter.
Yeah. So obviously Matthew Hoppe didn't make the bus. They ended up in the club. There was some thought that Berhalter was on the stage. I have no idea if he was or was not. Matthew Hoppe is a weird one for me. I obviously want him to get an opportunity to play in a decent team. This is a little bit like Sargent, right? We wanted to play in a decent team. We saw what he could do in the Gold Cup. We saw flashes of it at Schalke. Man, but I don't know if I want him, $15 million move to be at a top half Premier League club because he probably won't play a lot, right?
That would be my guess. Yeah, I think for Matthew Hoppe, man, if I'm talking about a landing spot for him, I would want
I did know this, by the way. Jackie pointing out that he was randomly drug tested. That's why Hoppe missed the bus. He had to be pulled back. Yeah.
Was positive for hating Mexicans. Mexico, not the team, not the actual people.
That was so bad.
Sorry, that sounded way worse than I meant for it to be. My apologies to all my friends out there. But I'll say for Hoppe, proper landing spot for Hoppe, I would say top championship side, maybe another Bundesliga team.
I don't think.
Where would you want him landing spot?
I think that somewhere up the table in the Bundesliga is the right move for him. I don't think there's a championship club that has the cash to buy Matthew Hoppe. That's not going to happen.
What do you think he's going to go for?
Considering his age, his pedigree, no. In dollars? No, he's going to go for closer to 20 in dollars.
You think those couple of goals that he scored in the Bundesliga are going to be worth that much?
Yeah, I do. I think that people are high on him there. So I think, but I don't know where we are right now. We'll see what happens with Matthew Hoppe. Now, I heard a rumor that Jared Dubois, a man who loves a good game, a man who likes to pretend to be a game show host on occasion, has a game to play for us. So let me just bring up your music. Is it Jay? So I thought, is it Wink Rodius? Is it Rodius Martindale?
I like Rodius Martindale. But I mean that for the old school heads that you're gonna get it, and then you're also gonna get that this is the match game music.
Yeah, this is the match game music, which I'm probably gonna have to kill because I can't figure out here to. Okay, anyway, set up your game.
Riley, the amazing Charles Nelson Riley on that game show.
Oh my God, people have no idea. The modern generation, they have no idea about
this game, and we're gonna bring Nicky Soup and Salad into this. Nick, you're gonna be playing in this game as well. Okay, so where's Nicky here? There he is. So
there he is. Let me hold on.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
There are rules on this show. Follow the rules.
all right. So what I have done is I have a list of the top 100 American players ranked by their rating in the FIFA 21 video game. Okay.
The last year game. Okay.
Yeah.
Last year.
This is the only one. I think this is the most current one right now, right?
22 comes out next month.
Yeah. So 21. Maybe we can play this again then. But this is the 2021 FIFA rankings for the top 100 Americans. And so basically what it is, it has their top overall, their potential, and then their stats. So those are the tiebreakers along the way. So they're ranked here. I'm just going to go by their ranking across all three of those stats. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a name. And somewhere in this top 100, and the two of you are going to bid back and forth saying how many names within you can get the number. How many rankings in between?
So we're picking a range here. Like I can do it within
range above and below.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a full range of 20. If I say 10, it's a range of 5 on each side.
Yeah, on either side. Okay. So keep that in mind when you're bidding. Okay. So for example, if I was to say a player and it was the number 20, and Nick says he can name it in 3, Jason says do it. He has within 3 above and 3 below the number. He can give 17 to 23, and we're in that range.
Oh,
okay?
three. Okay. Just make sure I understand this. We're not splitting the bid down the middle. We're just saying 3 plus 3 minus 3. If I say 3, I'm saying plus 3 minus 3. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Plus 3.
Are you good with this, Nicholas?
I think so.
Okay.
I think I think I've grasped.
Okay. All right.
So let's see. We're starting with something.
Only American players within the range.
Only American players.
Top 100 American players. Got it.
Okay. So let's start off with DeAndre Yedlin. So Jason, as our resident long-term guy here, you have seniority on Nick, so you can go first. What's your starting bid?
As the guy who has started the show with you, yes.
These are your perk.
Oh man, DeAndre Yedlin.
And in the chat, you're free to give some guesses once they've locked in, but don't give any guesses ahead of time because you might be cheating and looking at the list.
The best part is I'm a paying patron. I'm a paying patron.
And you also get paid, so get over it.
Yeah, you net out better. You're good.
Fair enough.
I'll say 5 to start on DeAndre Yedlin.
So that you can go 5 up or 5 down from the number that you choose. Okay.
And then we're guessing the number?
Yes. You're guessing the number. What is DeAndre Yedlin's ranking?
Yeah, whoever has the lowest bid.
All right, go, Jason.
Man.
You're giving that. Okay.
I'm giving it to him.
All right.
All right, Jason, where does he fall?
Yeah, I said 5.
You said 5.
I'm going to say 18.
18. So that means DeAndre Yedlin could be anywhere from 13 to 23 on your bid. DeAndre Yedlin, according to the FIFA rankings, is our number 10 best player.
I knew it was going to be pretty high because he played in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And I knew, God.
And you know that speed stat really carries some weight with him.
Yeah.
So Nick gets the first point to Mr. Nick. So Nick, you will go first in the second round of bidding. Your next player is...
I should be on this. Hold on. If it doesn't work, there we go. Okay, that's for me missing, but obviously Nick gets a point. Go ahead.
Giassi Zardes. Keep it wide, Nick. Woo! Start wide.
Woo! Yeah.
Here's the part of this question is, what is this? You're saying 10? Okay. What does FIFA value MLS? That's what we're really asking here.
You got to go big enough so it's like Giassi Zardes.
He says 10, so he's really got a 20-person range. He's hit 10. That's his opening bid.
A 20 slot range. 10, 20 slot. That's a lot. Out of 100, that's a lot. That's 1/5 of the board. Man, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna make him guess because Giassi Zardes he's like,
this is an establishment thing. Once you know Giassi Zardes, I think it's gonna help you figure out the game a little bit more because this is a shot in the dark. So Nick, what are you gonna go with for Giassi Zardes, the king of the Gold Cup?
So Yedlin was 10.
Yedlin was 10.
I will say that Zardes is 25.
Giassi Zardes, according to FIFA, is the 30th highest ranked player. So Nick is second point for Nicky Soup and Sausage.
All right.
With a rating of 72 overall.
Danger getting skunked. What are we playing to? 5? Are we gonna try to play to 5? 3, 4? What are we playing to? If he gets one more point and we're playing to 3, I'm screwed. So
all right. If some of the guys in the chat would have scored as well, Jason and Sean both would have scored.
Okay, hold on, just real quick. I want to review because I need this information, and I was too worried about hitting the buzzer. What was Nikki's guess? 30?
25.
25. And Zardes was actually at
30, and he had a 10
30.
person range on either side.
Right. Well, yeah, I know he was within it. I'm just saying, I want to know where Zardes actually was.
He
in
was
the
at 30.
Number
So
30.
far, all the information you have so far is that Zardes is 30 and that
Yedlin is
DeAndre
10.
Yedlin is 10.
Wow.
So let's get this down to a fine number.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Weston
all right.
McKinney. Let's get it down to a small number, and that includes,
All right.
if you want, you could try to guess dead on. You
Well,
can
here-
choose dead on, and it ends right there.
Oh,
You
I
have to make a
mean,
guess.
yeah, that'd be
Guess
insane.
zero.
Unless,
You can bet zero.
so the problem with Weston McKinney, and
yes.
okay, again, some ignorance here because I just don't play FIFA. Are these numbers updated throughout the year?
I
you
believe so. I
working
think
with-
this is their finishing stats. I believe so. Because
Okay,
I would
so we're
say
not
I find
talking
this
about-
value to be pretty good.
This isn't September of 2020.
I would
that
be
we're
shocked
working
if that was the case based off of this number.
with. Okay, then I'm going to say 3 is my bid.
So 3 up, 3 down from the number he chooses.
That's
I
my
think that's
bid.
still a pretty wide slot
is.
there, Nick. I
I'm
think you might
giving
be
him
able to
some
decide
room,
that.
man.
I'm going
He can
one.
go in
He's
one.
going one.
The
I
one.
gotta call him on.
Yeah.
What is
unless
this?
you want to go 0.
Hold on. If it no, that means he gets 3 spots to work with. I'm go.
All right, Nick. What are you going to choose for Weston
He's
McKinney?
probably going to get this.
I think the McKinney is. I'll go 3.
So Weston McKinney is ranked by FIFA as our number 6.
Oh.
So you were missed out on that one. At the end, we can go through and I can give it at least the top 10 for you, so you can figure out who is above him on this.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
All
Number
right,
6.
point for Jason Davis.
Well, who
Weston
the hell is ahead of
McKinney.
him?
I mean, I can tell you, but then we
Wow.
can't play any of these names. I can tell
Weston
you, though.
Boys, number 6.
All right, let's go deep.
Woo!
Let's go
Okay.
deep.
Oh, God. Here we go. Here we
All
go.
right. Wow, some of these are going to be wild stabs in the dark. I'm telling you right now. Some of the names I see above some of these other names are crazy. Let's go with Dax McCarty.
All right. The ginger assassin himself. Let's do that. I'm bidding first. I bid first last
Yes.
time, but I got the
50,
point.
right? You're going to go with 50?
Did I bid? Do I go because I won the point, or does he go because
He went first last time, so you can go first this time.
that's not true? I bid first last time.
you
but
did?
that's okay.
I'll bid
yeah.
first, and you, if you want to top me, you can.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'll bid for Dax. I'll bid 40.
Good opening bid.
Wow.
A wide bid.
Spots.
That's 80 spots, really.
I'll bid 30. 30 spots. Plus or minus. Jesus Christ.
Go for it.
Oh, my God. You're going to give him 30. You're giving him 60 spots, basically. Wow.
I think
Then I'm saying hold on. You want to say something? You want to
well,
talk
what I'm saying,
trash?
FIFA, man, like I play FIFA, so like I kind of know. Well, I'll just leave it at that. I play FIFA.
All right.
So go ahead.
I have 30. I have 30 plus or minus 30, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm going 50. Right down the middle, and I'm at the top 10 and I'm at the back end.
Smart choice, because Dax McCarty, according to FIFA, is our 42nd best player.
See, there you go.
42nd. 2 points
I was
for
within
Jason.
8. I think I should get bonus.
Interesting point put out here by Joseph Samuelson in the chat. I think he's top 40 because of the legacy/rep rating. There is something about that, about being an established product for quite some time. So just know that there are some veterans that are higher on this list than we would think of them right now.
Okay. So 42 for Dax McCarty, 30 for Josty Zardes, 6 for Weston McKinney, and what was DeAndre Yedlin?
10.
10. Okay.
All right. And Jason, you will guess first because Nick did it last time.
Yeah.
Walker Zimmerman.
I will say 10. I'll start with 10, my bid.
That's a pretty good one. You go inside that?
I'll go 8.
Plus or minus 8. I will say 7.
Nick, you have to say name that rating if you want him to do it.
Name that
You do have to say, name that rating. F that FIFA.
By the way, the number is 7, correct? That was what you were at, Jason? 7?
I said 7.
Okay.
So I'm plus or minus 7 on Walker Zimmerman. Jossie Zardes came in at number 30. Walker Zimmerman was Defensive Player of the Year. I'm going to say 25.
Jason almost nails it. It's a 22 for Walker Zimmerman.
Wow.
So So after getting the first 2 points to Nick, Jason has shut out Nick the next 3 rounds.
Oh, it's 3-2 me right now.
Yeah,
3-2 to Jason right now.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's make this a little interesting. Okay.
All right.
Let's go with Jesus Ferreira.
Ooh. Okay. The wheels are turning over here. Wheels are
Jesus
turning.
Ferreira. Okay.
Who's bidding first?
This will be Nick this round.
I'll bid 30.
I'll bid 25.
I'll go 20.
10. I'll do 10. Making it spicy. Making it spicy for you, Nick, the soup and sausage. That chorizo, the spicy
Name
chorizo.
that rating.
All right, so what did I say, 10? 10. I will say 70 for Jesus
Holy
Ferreira.
crap. I didn't think you would go that deep. 76 for Jesus Ferreira. 76. Jason with the 4th point.
See, you don't even need a point.
No, Nick, when he said 10, I thought that was a great call to make him name it because I didn't think he would go that deep with him. And I wanted to let you guys know this real quick. Brendan Aronson is 1 rating behind him in this.
Oh,
behind him.
Well,
So-
that'll change next month.
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of...
And also, Miles Robinson 2 behind Brendan Aronson. So Jesus Ferreira ahead of both Brendan Aronson and Miles Robinson in that. So, but like
by the way,
I said,
somebody
recency
mentioned Miles
bias here.
Robinson earlier, and I think you said this before the show, Jared, so let me just bring us back to that transfer question. Somebody in the chat asked, should Miles Robinson be looking at a move to Europe, or, do you think he should be getting some interest from Europe? I don't know why he's not, based on what he did in the Gold Cup, and,
we're assuming he's not because we're not hearing anything, but it's odd that we're not hearing anything when there's so much activity around so many other players right now.
And Atlanta's in such a weird place. I know they got the win over Columbus, and Columbus right now. I know that's a big thing for them. They're going out and spend. Do you know that they took 3 different shots at big money South American targets, whiffed on them, and then finally landed on another the guy that they ended up
I know
signing?
because they keep talking about the fact that he got turned down.
It's like, what is happening over there? They're just
Some weird
blindly
stuff,
throwing
man.
darts at a board, and they can't lose Miles Robinson if they want to be a contender for a playoff spot this year. They absolutely cannot. So
They
maybe
could go the
that's
New
the
England route with Tajon Buchanan, where it's just sign him and loan him back for the remainder of the season. There's a smart
could
move
do
there.
that. They could do that, and that would be interesting. I don't know why there's not more talk. I mean, the kid is an athlete. I think he's rounding into a very smart defender. Just seems not to be awed by any pressure. So I don't know why.
All right, let's get to a polarizing player real quick here. Okay.
Okay.
Michael Bradley, former captain of the U.S. men's national team,
All right.
captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean,
MB90. Don't you put some respect on that man's name, okay? I know.
I have respect on his name.
MB90. All right.
The Twitterverse does not respect him.
Well, there are some people who still hold some respect for Michael Bradley, but yeah, okay, go ahead. Let's go.
All right, so I believe Jason went first last time. So Nikki Soup and Salad, what are you gonna bid for Michael Bradley? One Michael Bradley.
10.
I'm gonna say 8.
The bid is 8.
I'll go 6.
All right, I'm a little iffy, so I'm gonna make you name him. Name that rating, Nicholas.
Okay, so I said 6, so that means I've got a range of 6 plus and 6 minus.
Yep.
That is correct.
I will
That's
say
how
that
math
Michael
works.
Bradley is rated 12.
Nikki on the nose.
I
On
knew
the
that was-
nose at 12.
I had a feeling it was going to be top
Do
20.
we have an
for sure.
applause sound for Nikki New Soup and Sausage hitting
Do
it
I
on the
have,
nose?
I don't think I have applause. I used to have applause on the board. I'm not sure I have any. How about this?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Long range.
Nikki hitting it on the nose. I really thought that you guys were going to go further down than that for Michael Bradley, but there's just the whole legacy kind of thing with him where
Yeah,
according to this, he's the
about
number
the
12
previous.
highest rating.
It's always the previous rep. They don't want to punish players for being good 6 years ago. They want to keep them.
3 to Jason. And let's go with Serginho Dest.
Okay, we got, how many more do you want to do? Because I got some
You
other
said the
business.
5. You said the 5.
Okay.
And you're at 4, he's at 3.
All right. Serginho Dest. Serginho Dest, who's bidding first?
You this time.
I will say 6. 6 is my bid.
Keeping it broad on Serginho Dest.
I'll go 5.
Barcelona player. Easy 1-5. Okay.
Then I will bid 3.
Name it.
Serginho Dest is number 6.
Nope.
Jason gets the point. He's actually number 5 in this ring.
I would have thought he is way lower.
Jason Davis,
because he's young,
ladies and gentlemen.
right?
It's the Barca factor. It's the Barca factor, baby. You know.
I will take my victory. Hard fought game there. Thank you, Nicholas.
Just real quick to cover who you guys were asking. Some of the guys that were up top. You know, because you were wondering
Can I guess who's won?
Yeah, go for it.
It's got to be Pulisic, right?
Of course,
he's number 1. You want to take a shot number 2?
Number 2
Not
is
Tyler Adams.
Jason, what do you think?
Number 2 is John Brooks.
Nick?
I will say
Your time's up.
Yeah, go for it.
Tyler Adams, number 2.
Is he really?
Yeah. Number 3, I don't know that you guys are going to come up with. Okay. Number 3 is Zach Steffen.
I was going to say, as soon as you said not going to come, I've had a feeling. Okay, Zach Steffen's number 3. Where's Brooks then?
4. Brooks is number 4.
Okay.
Serginho Dest, we said, was number 5. Weston McKennie, we said, is number 6. Number 7 may be a little bit surprising. Number 7,
Tim Weah?
Jordan Morris.
Oh,
Jordan Morris.
Jordan
Okay,
Morris
Jomo.
at number 7.
Wow.
Number 8, you guys want to take a I don't think you're going to get 8, 9, to be honest with you.
8. Let me just go through the mental Rolodex here real fast. Timothy Chandler.
No, it's number 8 is Aaron Long.
Okay.
Number 9 is amazing to me. Bill Hamid at number 9.
That's nuts.
That's incorrect.
Let me see how far I
yeah,
go down for Gio Reyna. Let me see
Gio Reyna's
He's
whatever.
low. He's like 68. I just saw it today when I was playing this morning.
68.
68. Wait, his rating or
His rating is 68.
His rating is a 68, so wherever that falls in the rankings of the top 100.
Which actually might not be low. In this
No, it might not be that.
He's
it might not be
45. His rating's 70 right now, according to this.
Okay.
Well, so when this was put out, it was 70.
45. Wow.
Because even when I was playing this morning, I saw 68. I was like, wow, that seems awfully low for a guy who's
with a
starting
potential
for-
of 87. So he has one of the highest potentials for any
Right.
player in that
Yeah.
category.
Yeah. Real quick, since we were talking transfers and leveling up, good point here from Nate, who says that Michael Bradley leveled up from Gladbach. I don't know if Gladbach to Kiev was necessarily leveling up. He did start in the Netherlands, though, I think, right?
I
He
think
was
level
at,
up was Kiev to Verona. Roma.
To Roma, yeah, that was definitely leveling up. And then his playing time dropped off the table, and he ended up back in Major League Soccer. So there is that.
Where he won, 2 supporter shields? 1 supporter shield?
No. He won an MLS Cup. He won a couple supporter shields. He's been great in Toronto. I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm just saying that he leveled up, and then his playing time didn't stay at the level he wanted, and he decided, still at his relative peak, to take the money and come back to MLS. I'm not hating on the man. It's just what he did. And obviously that was a controversial thing back in the day when this guy said that American players shouldn't be playing in America. I wanted to I did play the Oh Baby for Nick and on that exact hit on that game. We have to give an Oh Baby to George Bello for his back heel assist, which was very pretty. That's the kind of sauce we like to see.
I'll throw it out there too, where the strike wasn't so amazing, but the platform was. Paxton Aronson gets his debut first goal. Good cracker for goal. Inside the 18, though, but great goal for him.
A Paxton Claxon. All right, anyway, let's move forward. Any other old babies, hit us up in the chat and let us know who deserves old babies for Major League Soccer this weekend or anywhere, really. I mean, we did not get any time to talk about the U.S. Women's National Team and the bronze medal. Look,
maybe we'll get to it on the bonus.
Maybe. The standard for that team is so high that it kind of like, a bronze medal game. But it's still an achievement, right? You can't say they didn't achieve something. But there are questions, and Flacco's got to worry about turning this team over. And, do some of the players who are still relatively young even still get their place moving forward? I think that's something to talk about at some point. This is normally the part of the show where we hand it over to our man, Nicholas Soup and Salad, who brings us ratings and reviews. Those are very important for the show. So go to Apple podcast things and write things down and then give us 5 stars. And yes, please go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, so not only can you do it on Apple Podcasts, but you can also email them to us if you don't want to leave it on Apple Podcasts at bestsoccershowreviews@gmail.com. This first one came to us from Apple Podcasts. This is from SJSH 2018. They say, great show. Here is a review as requested. Love the show. Short and sweet. Perfect.
All right. Yeah, sure. You don't have to write poetry. It's all good. We appreciate it.
Many of the best things in my life are short.
Moving on. This one
so many different places that could go. I don't even. Do I want to unpack it?
Playing hot dogs and donuts with two fangirls in the locker room.
So short you can't unpack it.
Man, I got to get some Ted Lasso drops on this thing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Definitely. This next one is actually emailed in to us from Andrew. He sent in a review. He says, 5 stars. My wife's second least favorite thing I listened to after the Cooligans. I've been listening to that radio guy who is full of himself and the old loser since early soccer morning.
Wait, hold on. Did she say that?
Did she call me the old loser?
Man, I've been working hard.
He's got way more gray in his beard.
I've been working hard for. You don't have a beard. That's not fair. You can't judge me by a beard.
You have a beard if you got that much gray in it. You don't want to be called old.
It makes me look distinguished. Okay, I've been trying for 10 years to be called like the egotistical radio guy. Hell yeah, I'm made it, baby. I'm here. This is what's happening.
Oh, I don't appreciate it.
He finishes up the review with the casual feel of the show juxtaposed with deep knowledge is a great blend. The humor hits right for me, but might not if you're Gen Z. It's particularly good company while on a long walk where passerby can see me laughing to myself like a crazy person. It feels like you're sitting in a room with old buddies shooting the soccer shit and just vibing. Glad y'all are back.
Nice.
Appreciate
I like that.
Reviews,
what's a Gen Z?
I don't know which one that is. Which one is that?
Is that like an anime?
Is that like is that like the ones who are wearing all the baggy jeans?
I'm pretty sure my kids are.
Baggy jeans are back. You know that, right?
Did they ever leave?
Oh, they are?
Oh, they were definitely gone for a while. They're
like Jinko?
Not Jinko level, but I think like boot cut
relax
back
fit?
in. Yeah, relax fit and boot cut. That's what we're doing now. I mean, that's what they're doing now.
That's what I don't know.
Yeah. We're like a pool party. This works for Jared. We're like a pool party. Casual, but there's a deep end, and you can get pretty deep down there.
Flip-flops.
That's what
podcast.
We're the flip-flop podcast of American soccer, baby. That's what we do. Jack Lettuce. No, not that. Never that. Please don't. You don't like planes. You can't judge.
I don't get it. So wait a second.
You don't
get slippers okay on a plane? Are slippers okay?
Closed toe. I just want closed toe.
But your heel's out.
No, closed toe. It's not the heel. It doesn't bother me. The toes are what bothers me. Closed toe.
Have you seen my heel? You'd rather see my toes than my dry, cracked heel.
You probably got like extra thickness, like your heel comes out like
first class. They give you slippers
shoes.
For God's sakes.
You know how all the shoes now, all the athletic shoes have that like thing that sticks out in the back, and that's Jared's heel, like his actual just like a thickness.
It's like an alligator's back. I literally lotioned it before the show.
Oh my! I don't even. Okay. Is there any other business that we need to get to?
Got to hydrate
with Mr. Soup and Salad. No. Okay. In that case, this is where we tell you that you can sign up for the Patreon, patreon.com/thebestsoccershow. On that Patreon, you get a bonus episode mostly every week. You will get one this week. You get access to our Slacka Spectacular, whatever that's called.
Which is one of the best soccer communities out there, I got to tell you.
It's actually really incredible. We just celebrated nuptials for
Allison.
For Allison. Congratulations. Let's all give Allison and her lovely husband, who jumped into my mentions on Twitter because I said we need a support group for significant others, or we need to find a way to like tell our significant others we're watching all the leagues now because there's Americans in all the leagues. We can't watch. We have to watch all the leagues. And Mr. Allison, jumped into my mention and was like, I don't have that problem. Well, you sure as hell don't. Congratulations on that.
Congratulations.
The Slack also has. We set up poker nights. We're doing beer trading. We are doing songs and playlists and music stuff, which I think we should put together playlists to share ourselves as well. What else? Am I missing anything for the Patreon people?
At the top level, you get access to the show behind the scenes pre-show.
Yeah, and we're going to start making that a recorded event as well. It used to be that you had to be in live to listen to us talk before the show in the behind the scenes areas. I'm going to try to make that available for all the Patreons who are kicking in the most money. There is also a level you get the bonus show no matter what level you're at. but you get the video version of the bonus show if you go up a level. I can't remember which one it is, the $5 a month, I think. And that is totally worth it.
Where you get to watch me eat every time?
You get to watch Jared eat. You get to watch me turn bright red and go apoplectic, as does Nicholas Soup and Salad. We're basically, it's nuts. Jared makes a lot of hand motions on that show. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You have to watch the video to see said hand motions. That's it, right? I think that's everything.
That's it, buddy. Welcome back to America.
No, don't. You don't.
What version of America?
Make me explain this to you again. Puerto Rico is
the
part
mainland.
of America.
How about that? The mainland.
We will talk to you guys next week.
Do you have to show a passport when you come in?
Michael freaking Orozco Fiscal.
Gross. The Sausage King of Chicago.
Danger zone!
Get to the chopper!
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
What are we doing?
The horror show. Oh, it's incredible! Nothing for you.
WNBC. WNBC.
Jay Rodius.